Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to take PVC and turn it into a target stand. Stay tuned. So the idea behind this is I wanted something that I can take out into an open field or into an area besides the shooting range where you can't work on tactical stuff. On most ranges they won't let you do that. So I wanted to have some kind of portable stand that I could take out and put up and practice with my pistol and my AR. The idea that I have is to take this PVC and turn it into a portable stand for targets such as the ones I have here. Now these are a little bit wider than what I would probably put on here, but the other reason for this is you can't use silhouette targets or human-shaped targets at most ranges. At least here in my range I can't. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to kind of walk through what my idea is, and then we'll kind of show you some of the measurements here that I came up with, and then we'll put it all together and I'll show you what it looks like at the end here. Alright, so I'm just doing this in my living room here, and it's kind of a mess right now. I apologize for that. I'm going to make these bottom sections 3 foot long. So I'm just going to simply make a mark at 3 foot. Okay, and then we'll cut 2 of those. And I'm just doing this with a hand saw, something simple. You can do it with a chop saw or whatever you have. But I didn't want to bring my chop saw in here. Just a wood saw or a little hand saw will work just fine. You want everything to be as close to the same size as possible. So those are my long bases. Now I got to determine how wide I want this. And the parts that we're going to be using for this base will be a 1-inch T for one side and another 1-inch T for the other side. Basically sitting in the center. So we're going to cut these 2 3-footers in half. So we need to cut these at 1.5 feet. So if I want this 1.5 feet, I need to measure that 1.5 feet center to center. And then we're going to come over here and take about a 1/2 inch or so off of these side this one. Go 16.5. So we'll make our ends 16.5 inches. If you do cut these with a handsaw, you want to be sure that looking at your ends and seeing how straight you were. If you weren't straight, then you want to take the longest end and make that your long point. Now for you guys that are married or live with somebody, you might want to make sure this is okay before you do it in the living room. Alright, so we have our 2 ends now. We'll go ahead and put these in here and see how they fit. Alright, there's our base. Give you a nice square. Now once we have that, we're going to have to determine how high we want this. I'm going to assume that I'm going to want this about my height. Okay, so we're going to want to make these probably about 5'7", 5'8" at the top. Should be plenty tall. So we're going to make these 5.5 foot tall. I'm just putting a little bit of boar butter on here so I can get them in and out easier. Not sure. I did get tees. So if you want to be able to break this down a little bit easier, you can put tees in here, or you can just put a top on it and call it a day. But it's going to be kind of wobbly. So what my plan is to cut these in at a certain distance and put a cross member in here. That way I can break all this down and put it together out in the field. So I think one of the things that I'll do too is I will color coordinate these so I know, you know, where they go. All right, well, I went ahead and cut everything and put it together because this project is really simple, to be honest with you. Just a little bit of measuring and cutting to your preference as far as height and width, and you're off and running. So basically I've got my base here, I've got a center support, and then I took my and then you've got your top here, your top support. What I did was I took my uprights once I had my length that I wanted, then I went and cut where I wanted this center bracket to be. I didn't want it too high, I didn't want it too low. I wanted it right basically towards the bottom of whatever cardboard I was going to use. If your target only needs to be this big, then make it that big. You know, bring your bar up, shorten this down, whatever you want to do. But this is basically what I wanted. Something a little bit taller, you know, head height. Drop that center bar down because I'm going to be using longer cardboard. What I wanted to do was use, you know, silhouettes, and I just centered this on the bars, and right there you have your target. Now my target itself is not real centered, but you get the point. This is a little taller than it needs to be, but that gives me a little bit of cushion to play around with heights of targets and stuff like that. Be basically my chest right here and my head right here. So, you know, depending on how tall you are, maybe you want this a little bit taller so you can shoot straight ahead and not be shooting down at something. Anyway, that's it. First off, I want to say that I am not a professional. I don't recommend you being out on your own shooting. Take a buddy with you, have somebody there with you in case of an accident. You know, with that being said, you know, use your own judgment. I'm not recommending anybody to go out there and try to do tactical stuff by any means. If you have a chance, get professional guidance and training. If you are in an area where you can shoot a target such as this on your own property or somewhere safe with a good backdrop, then this is a really good project to be able to maneuver and shoot using a holster, or maybe doing a walking drill side to side or something to that nature that you cannot do on most ranges. So anyway, thank you for watching Public Eye Outdoors. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section. I love to get comments. I try to answer every one that I get in some form or fashion. Yeah, just be safe out there. Don't be a hero. Don't be trying to be Rambo out there and do stupid stuff with your weapons. Use a mindset of safety. A project like this will be a lot of fun for you. Till next video, stay safe out there and everything you do in the outdoors. Catch you on the next video.